Gold is up, oil is up. Hi, I'm Joe Deaux reporting from the NYMEX for your commodities update. Oil prices are moving higher on this Wednesday. Here to talk to me about it today is Alan Harry. Alan, always good to be with you at the NYMEX. So what are you seeing in the price action for today in crude?
Well, it looks like to me the market was oversold. There was a program sell that came in yesterday, took it all the way down to the 93 level. But for me, though, it didn't break 92.87. It did by one tick, but didn't truly break, in my opinion. Because of that, back up we go. So this looks like a short-term buy.
We finally got our first snow in New York yesterday. Do you think this hints at some price movement coming up in the winter time?
Well, early on in the winter, I think we're going to have some cold weather, and with that, we're going to see some support coming in heat and oil, and also in crude oil. So I think we're going to get a rally up very short term, possibly to the 98.5, 99 level.
And let's turn to OPEC. There is talk about scaling back on some of the output there.
Well, what I find interesting is this. Saudi Arabia has taken it upon themselves to not sell as much crude oil into the market as they could normally to keep the price of crude oil high. How long will that last is my question. And the reason why I ask that is there's a certain structure that they have pricing-wise they want to hold to, but they also want to make money. And they're watching all their competitors sell into this market and do well with it. So in the next 6 months to a year, I think the pressure is going to be on them to also have to sell. And with that, I think we're going to see much lower levels in crude oil, almost down to the 84 level.
All right, interesting take. Alan Harry, thanks so much. That's Alan's take, giving you a forecast of what he's expecting ahead. We will now turn to gold prices. Gold prices are slightly higher as we see a little bit of some light trading on the table with some short covering. I spoke to Jim Steele of HSBC earlier today. He said it's actually a very quiet market and he still sees more downside potential ahead. Inside the studio, I have Ed Moy, the former director of the United States Mint. Ed, it's so good to have you with us.
Yeah, good to be with you, Joe.
So Ed, we saw silver coins finally hit a record high for an annual sales, 40.2 million ounces. Why have we seen so much demand for silver coins out of the U.S. Mint this year?
Well, you're exactly right. The Mint just beat its historic record, which was set in 2011 at roughly 39.6 million ounces. This goes over 40 million. There's still 4 weeks left in the sales period for the United States Mint, so I think they'll beat their historic record by a comfortable margin. Silver is generally known, colloquially as the poor man's gold. It's very accessible to most individual investors. And it also corresponds with the high demand for physical gold worldwide. The price wouldn't show it, but physical gold demand worldwide has reached a record high this year.
Right.
But most of it is in interest is in Asia and India, and not in the United States and Europe.
Sure, but you mentioned the gold demand, but we're not seeing the kind of buying of gold, American Gold Eagle coins out of the Mint that we are in silver. And why is that?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think for several reasons. One is most of the demand has been in India and China, and their demand has been in gold bars, not United States-made gold coins. So when the United States Mint makes gold coins, they're really supplementing the existing supply. Whenever existing supply can't meet the when the existing demand doesn't meet the supply, that's when the Mint has to inject more coins. You saw a little mini surge last month. The Mint went from roughly 10,000 ounces to about 30,000 ounces, which is a pretty big swing, but
right,
far short of the 100,000 ounces that the Mint typically makes during a high period like this.
Sure. Well, Ed Moy, as always, thanks so much for being with us.
Yeah, you're welcome, Joe. Good to be with you again.
I had Ed Moy, Alan Harry, thanks so much to them. That's what's happening in commodities today. For TheStreet at the NYMEX, I'm Joe Deaux.